Coming up on City Spotlight, Season 11 continues on, and we're highlighting new educators in Central Illinois. In Part 1 of the best of the first half of Season 11 of City Spotlight. First, we revisit our first trip to Tolono and talk with the new superintendent of Unit 7 schools, Dr. Brian Brink. Then, we look back at our latest visit to Paris as we sit down with Mary Morgan Ryan, the new superintendent of Paris Union 95 schools. We're highlighting education in the best of the first half of Season 11, Part 1, next on City Spotlight.
It's almost impossible to imagine life without internet today. It keeps us connected to work, school, and loved ones, no matter where they are. Fidium Fiber Internet now serves over 1 million locations, providing reliable, consistent service that keeps these connections strong. From vibrant cities to quiet rural areas, fiber broadband is a key driver of economic growth. Fidium is dedicated to supporting communities and enhancing lives through this essential technology. Learn more at fidiumfiber.com.
We welcome first time to the program, Dr. Brian Brink, Superintendent of Unit 7 Schools. Brian, pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Excellent. Again, we're taping at Unity East Elementary School in Philo, part of the Unit 7 school district. We're going to learn all about that and the varying communities that are in this unique school district here in southern Champaign County. Before we do that, let's learn about you, Brian. You're a first-time guest. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Brian Brink. I'm originally from Centralia, Illinois. I grew up as an orphan, although it's always a great day to be a Rocket. Go Rockets. Family and I just moved up here from Breeze, Illinois. I've been on the job since July 1st.
Okay.
I believe it's my 9th year as a superintendent. I spent most of my career in smaller districts down south, but when the Unit 7 job opened, I asked my wife, she gave me the permission to apply, and here we are. And it's every bit since July 1st has been wonderful. So it's been a pleasure.
We are taping here on August 22nd, so you do the math. Not very long on the job. What have you learned so far about this area?
Well, it's a unique area. You know, our district from east to west covers the towns of Sidney, Philo, Tolono, Pesotum, and Sedoris, and then all the rural areas in between. So it's 175 square miles of land. And each of those towns, you know, has their own little identities, but the community does an awesome job of coming together when it's time to come together for our kids, and that's really what makes Unity special.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that in detail as we go along. It covers many school districts. So when you look up to the north and you see this opportunity, what struck you as the most appealing thing about coming up here to this school district in southern Champaign County?
Sure. I've said this story multiple times, but our family's Illini season ticket holders. We were coming up here for a game a few years ago. The town we lived in was a golf cart community, and we were looking for a new golf cart, actually. And when we were driving through Tolono, a golf cart went by the front of our car and had a for sale sign on it, and I thought, well, there's one I might want to buy. And we ended up at the high school, the campus at the high school, the junior high, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I was so impressed about the facilities. That got me looking into the district a little bit, and so I told my wife about 4 years ago if this job ever opened, it was going to be one that you know we tried to get, because not only were the facilities top notch, what I found out was the school district and the communities in general were a place that we'd want to raise our kids, and you know it worked out, and here we are.
You obviously are very new to the area, the school district, and one of my questions I had written down before I actually had found out a little bit about that you are just getting started here. I'm not going to ask you too much about the history of the school district, but it is a unique school district in that it does cover many communities. The word co-op, many schools, they funnel kind of into Tolono for the high school and the junior high. What can you share about this history of this school district here in southern Champaign County? It does cover a lot of ground.
Sure. So really it was one of those things that, from what I could gather, came out of necessity. You know, each of the 5 towns had their own K-8 schools, but you know, those schools were aging, and that's really what got community leaders to get together and figure out a plan, you know, to form what you see now here as Unit 7. So, you know, 2 elementary schools, that was a decision. There was one, you know, here at Unity East. We're serving the towns of Sidney and Philo and those rural areas in between. Unity West serves Tolono, Pasodum, and Sedoris and those rural areas in between. And then those communities come together for the first time at the junior high, which is, junior high is really a special time here, because while each of our communities may have their own rivalries and their own uniqueness as individual towns, like I said, they really come together. They always come together for Unit 7 kids, but that junior high is really the first time that they come together as one,
right.
And then it just grows there in the high school. It's really a neat thing to see.
I guess where the magic starts, I guess.
Absolutely.
Where they all meet each other, they all unite. Very good. Let's talk about those buildings. You probably just listed them off. We'll start here where we're taping at. The one school located in the district that is not in Tolono, with the Tolono address, Unity East School in Philo, Unity West, as you mentioned, Tolono. Funny little story on a personal note. My first day on the job at my previous job up in Champaign was to come down here to this area and get video of these brand new elementary schools. So there's your date, 2002. What can you tell us about these 2 buildings? They kind of look the same, don't they?
So yeah, they were built using the same blueprint. They both house our K-5 programs, you know, with some population shifts. Unity West has outgrown Unity East a little bit, so there's been a few additions out there. But to make up for that shift, Unity East here houses our 2 pre-K classrooms in the district. So we try to level out those numbers.
Right.
But yeah, the buildings are using the same blueprint. We're super proud of you know, all of our facilities. Our facilities here are just top notch. So yeah, we're just super proud of what's going on and the programs we have going on.
Okay, so those are the 2 elementary schools, Unity East, Unity West, and the junior high and high school. They're kind of all right there in Tolono. What can you tell us about those 2 buildings?
So yeah, the junior high was also built in 2002.
Okay, very good.
I believe the high school, it's the one older building.
Right.
I want to say 1957, don't quote me on that.
That's fine.
But throughout the years, so much money and time has been invested into making that high school. You wouldn't be able to tell that it's any older than the other buildings. And again, if you go out to I think we were one of the first districts in the area. You know, we have turf, football fields, baseball fields, soccer fields. Like I said, our facilities are first class, and we rival anything that you'd see in those Chicago suburb areas. We think we're super proud of it.
I think here, people that are watching maybe further south and closer to Charleston, when you hear Unity Rockets, you know you're talking about the Tolono area. Very good. So those are your four school districts. I know you're still getting your feet wet on the job. What have you learned about any recent facility work that has been done to any of the buildings?
So sure, you know, most of the buildings were completed in 2002, but we've continued to invest to be sure that they're staying world class. This summer there was a huge investment in both elementary schools. We put in new playgrounds that are going to serve students of all abilities, so they're all inclusive. We're super proud of it. And the best thing about those was it was started with students. So some students wrote some adults letters saying, hey, we want to see our peers of all abilities be able to play with us. And in the past, you know, unfortunately that wasn't happening. So that's how it started. And now at both elementary schools, we have all-inclusive playgrounds that we are super proud of, and all of our kids are getting the opportunity to play and have fun. Very
good. This is not the first school district that I have covered here on City Spotlight. As we approach 30 communities on City Spotlight in 11 years, there are a handful of school districts where they serve many communities, and this is certainly one. What have you gauged early on? Again, you've been on the job a little over a month as we tape here, third week of August. What have you learned about how all these communities bond together to make this school district work?
Sure. Well, I said it earlier, you know, we really pride ourselves, it's a lot like a family. So you may have folks from Philo telling folks from Tolono that we're better, no, we're better, and they have that little rivalry going on. Mm-hmm. But the wonderful thing is, when it comes to our kids, you see they unite together, and everybody has the same goal to make this community better in general. So it is a lot like a family. You may get in a fight with your brother and sister sometimes, but if somebody from the outside wants to fight your brother and sister, you're right there, and you've got your brother and sister's back. And that's the way these towns are. It's really a wonderful thing to see.
And I think you might have said it earlier in the interview, maybe you didn't, but the geography, so much square mileage. What is the square mileage of what this school district covers? Because it's a lot.
So it's 175 square miles, which it makes transportation a challenge, to say the least.
It's a lot of farmland.
Absolutely, but those farmers are the backbones of our community. So and
right.
They're one of the leaders. When we need something, when the school needs something, we put it out there. There's a good chance one of our local farmers is going to help us out and give us what we need. So it takes a village, and again, we're just super blessed to live in the community that we do.
I think I'm going to hold off on the curriculum question for you for maybe the next time we come back, because you're getting started. But I want to ask you, school just started
Sure.
This past week. Tell us about the start of the school year.
Well, I'll answer the curriculum question, I guess.
Do you want to highlight one here in our final couple minutes?
Well, maybe not so much curriculum. I'll say that I think all schools have invested,
right.
a lot of money recently. We had COVID dollars coming in, so there's been a lot of investment in different curriculums, and we're super proud this year. We invested a lot of money in a new math curriculum. But
Great.
What I would say about curriculum is that obviously each one that you're going to purchase might be slightly different, but they all have the same goal. But no matter the curriculum that you purchase, it comes down to the people that you have in your buildings, and everyone from our custodial staff to our lunch staff to our aides and our teachers, they all have the same goal, and that is what makes us special. The curriculum is only as good as the people that you have in place, and the people we have in place at Unit 7 are top notch. So as far as the start of school,
been open about a week since we've
we're about a week in. Every educator will tell you the end of the year is wonderful, but the beginning of the year really is a special time, because it's the perfect combination of old and new. You get a chance you're going to see old friends that you maybe haven't seen, but there's that anticipation of what's new, the new people you're going to meet, the new class you have. So it's just such excitement in the air at the beginning of the year. It really is the best time of year for school. So we're just ready to get going.
For you, since you're so new, you're making a lot of new friends.
Yeah, my children, who are a freshman and fifth grader, are super embarrassed that Dad's around, but I also love embarrassing them sometimes. But yeah, my job is, right now, I have an easy job. My job is to get to know people, as many people as I can, and get to learn this community. So I do spend time at every school each week. It is the best part of my day in the mornings, greeting students as they come to school, shaking hands, giving fist bumps, and telling everybody good morning. I am super blessed. I got the best job in the world. Everything is good in the Brink household.
Very good. Glad to have Dr. Brian Brink, Superintendent of Unit 7 Schools. This is a Tolono episode, but we're taping here at Unity East Elementary School in Philo. Brian, it's been a pleasure. Welcome to Tolono area, Southern Champaign, and glad to have you on City Spotlight. And we look forward to catching you up as you learn more about your school district.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I love the fact that your first job was here at East, and you're not done yet, but everything's a circle.
Everything does come full circle. Very good. Thank you very much. Back in a familiar spot, Paris, Illinois, and we're going to talk all about the Paris Union School District number 95, and we welcome, first time to the program, the new superintendent of Paris Union School District 95, Mary Morgan Ryan. Mary, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you on. First time in this particular building, the school district offices for Paris Union 95. Glad to have Mary on here as we tape here on September 20th, near the very end of summer 2024. Mary, welcome to the program, and let's introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Fabulous. Yes, of course. My name is Mary Morgan Ryan. I am the superintendent at Paris Union School District 95. This is my first superintendency, and I moved to the Paris community over the summer and started the job on July 1st. So I'm new in many ways, new to this district and new to this community.
Welcome to Paris. You've been on the job just a little over 2 months, so
Yes.
still learning about this school district that encompasses many schools in Paris. I read your bio, kind of from an introductory article of you being hired to the position. You have a very diverse background. Tell us about a little bit of your past before you came to Paris.
Sure. So I come from a military family. My father served in the U.S. Army, and so part of my background is that our family moved quite a bit during my growing up years. So Paris is home now, and I'm used to doing that in my life. Education is a second career for me. I was an attorney, a consumer credit attorney for a number of years, and then moved into education. Became a classroom teacher and then a school librarian before moving into administration. So yes, you're right, a varied background.
And what made you interested in coming to Paris, Illinois?
Well, when the job opening was posted, I started doing some research on the community, and as a matter of fact, I made more than one visit to the community, getting to know the community and deciding whether it was someplace that I wanted to be. And I did some eavesdropping in local restaurants, and I heard nothing but good things about activities that were happening in the community. I saw lots of yard signs supporting the schools, and I overall knew that it was a place that I wanted to be a part of.
Fantastic. Many times to Paris, Illinois here on this program of City Spotlight, and many times talking Paris School. So glad to be talking Paris Union 95 for a second time on this program. I interviewed your predecessor a couple years back, and you are stepping into the school district. If it's safe to say, you have a few things that you have to kind of maybe, I guess, tidy up, maybe if that's okay to safe to say, without going into all the details that probably if someone from Paris is watching, they're probably aware of the things that happen. What challenges do you have right off the bat here for yourself as superintendent?
Sure. So during the past year, there was an interim superintendent, and there was a lot of communication back and forth with the State Board of Education and the Illinois Department of Public Health about some grant funds. We are on the other side of that. We have a corrective action plan. We have repayment plans in place. And so we now know what our financial future looks like. We now know how to plan for the repayments that are required, and we're moving ahead.
Right.
And what I really want people to understand is that while that's going on, we also have very high quality teachers, and we have students who arrive at school ready to learn every day, and wonderful things happen in the classrooms.
Very good. How do you think your previous experiences, as we just had you tell us your diverse background, how do you think your previous experiences have helped you get to this point in this new position you have?
Well, I think it's all coming together. As I mentioned, my background of moving quite a bit has helped me really be able and ready to settle into a new community and reach out to people, make that first move of, hi, I'm new in town and I'd like to introduce myself. That's something that's second nature to me. And also my law background and my background in finance. I actually worked at Harris Bank, which is now BMO, a while ago in their trust division. So all of that is coming to bear on my experience being a really good match. And that's what, when I was considering this job and I was talking to the school board, I said, when I look at what you need and what I have to offer, it seems like a really good fit.
Very good. Thank you very much. And Mary, let's remind our audience at home the many schools that are under the Paris Union 95 district. We have Memorial Elementary, Wenz Elementary, Mayo Middle School, and Paris High School. You have many schools and many staff and students to get acclimated with, don't you?
Yes, yes. We serve pre-K all the way through 12th grade and beyond. So there's a lot going on here. And yes, you're right, a variety of schools and school cultures.
So you've been on the job a little over 2 months here as we tape again here, September 20th, 2024. What have you learned about the school district in general?
I say I would have confirmed what I thought was the case when I decided to move here. There's enormous community support for the schools. People believe in Paris 95 and are very supportive of the efforts of the teachers. And on the inside, when I've been meeting with staff, people are really proud of what we offer and how we reach out to engage families and support students every day.
If I interview you in about a year from now, the question may have a bit of a different answer because you're just getting started, getting your feet wet. But we are about a month or so into the school year as we tape here. What does the start of a new school year mean to you?
You know, it's been a really exciting time because, of course, for me, everything's new, but that's not the case for everyone else. We repeated an event, the Back to School Bash, and one of the drivers of that is to help our families get connected with community agencies and other parts of the community that could help support them if they need anything. So the high school students pitched in with a bounce house and face painting to make it attractive for people to come, and while they were here we got to connect them with some support. So that was a really exciting thing, and one of the aspects of it that I love is that we were able to offer free back to school haircuts.
Hey.
Right? So everybody can show up to school looking their best.
Fantastic. Who doesn't mind a good haircut?
That's right.
What else have you learned about the community in general? I think you might have answered that already, but in your short time in Paris, Illinois, in general, what else have you learned about the community?
There's a real sense of community pride. I am able to, because of the connection to the school district, I'm able to serve on the board of the Paris Center of Fine Arts. Right. And I've been really impressed with not only sort of the season's offerings, but the dedication of the community members who serve on that board. Yeah. Yes, and just yesterday I was meeting with the public health department and reaching out and getting to know people. I really feel that sense of pride of place.
Fantastic. As you continue on, starting to learn this community a little bit more and this school district, share with us any short-term or long-term goals you have for the school district.
Well, one of the things that we're working on as a school district is a program called Leader in Me.
Yes.
And we are a Leader in Me district here, and our elementary and middle schools have been working and continue to work on that. It's a social emotional learning aspect of our day in school, and it's based on the Covey 7 habits for highly effective people, right? And what we're seeing is a growth in students understanding that everyone's a leader and everyone has responsibility for our school community, and including everyone and supporting their colleagues. We're really seeing growth in that area.
Fantastic. I know it's being utilized in a few other communities, so it seems to be working, not just for those, but obviously it's now in Paris, Illinois. I typically ask superintendents when I come back on, has there been any, and I know you're just getting your feet wet here, have there been any building upgrades that you know of that have transpired recently before you got here, or that are on the docket that you're looking toward completing?
We did do some work over the summer. We not very glamorous, but we put some new windows and new doors in,
those are
appropriate
noticeable.
for school safety. Yes.
And where were those done at?
Our elementary buildings.
Beautiful.
So we've got
Wonderful.
that done, and we are in the process of getting solar panels installed on the roofs of our buildings.
Seems to be a trendy thing right now.
And so we are, going to be generating electricity, and we'll get a discounted rate because of that.
Very good. I know a community not too far from here to the north. They kind of have invested in that solar as well. Mary, I don't have a whole lot of questions left to ask. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us at this time, coming to Paris, Illinois, and leading the school district?
Sure. Well, one of the things that also happened over the summer, which wasn't a building improvement, is that one of our schools, Carolyn Wentz Elementary, was awarded the Thrive Award by greatschools.org.
Wonderful.
And that's based on the results from the 5 Essential Survey, which is done every year. Parents and students and teachers all respond to the survey about the school culture and climate. And so we're really proud of the staff and leadership at Wentz and the students and families, because they've created something really special over there, and that award really reinforces that.
Well, good to end the segment on a happy note. Awards and accolades are always great to share anywhere. Mary Morgan Ryan, the new superintendent of Paris Union 95 School District, 95, excuse me. Thank you for your time and welcome to Paris. We look forward to catching up with you down the road.
I look forward to that too.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central and Southeastern Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube. City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight.
It's almost impossible to imagine life without internet today. It keeps us connected to work, school, and loved ones, no matter where they are. Fidium Fiber Internet now serves over 1 million locations, providing reliable, consistent service that keeps these connections strong. From vibrant cities to quiet rural areas, fiber broadband is a key driver of economic growth. Fidium is dedicated to supporting communities and enhancing lives through this essential technology. Learn more at fidiumfiber.com.